defense has done a great deal to drive the history of invention, innovation, and development in sectors like aerospace, where everything from jet engines to helicopters to rockets basically were invented in the defense world, and in many cases improved, perfected as well. And this has been something we've seen throughout the 40s, 50s, 60s, and thereafter. So aerospace and big vehicles in aerospace is one big area of innovation where defense really has driven a lot of what's happened here in the United States and globally. Another area is in sensor technology. And here we can cite the examples of the development of infrared sensors, certainly the development of radar, to a large extent the advancement of laser technology, little things like airbags in cars benefiting from some of the sensor innovations that came out of the U.S. munitions industry. And so a whole broad area of impressive spin-off from defense towards civilian sectors has historically been in the area of sensor technology as well. And then it's worth mentioning space. I already alluded to satellite, or to rockets. Let me mention satellites as well. And of course, this was an area where defense really drove a lot of what was happening in the 50s and 60s. Now, you had this happy synergy of, sort of in a funny way, the Cold War plus the Apollo space program, which reinforced all these trends in space and meant that it wasn't just the defense sector, but it was this modern day, or excuse me, earlier day, grand national mission in science that that David alluded to earlier, that's been so central to generating the interest, the excitement, the resources. So it was both civilian and defense sectors that drove a lot of the invention and innovation in rocketry and space. But that's one other big area. So this just proves the point that defense can do a lot. But for those of you who say I'm talking about ancient history and the tables have shifted, and we even heard a little bit about that from a defense CEO a moment ago about how we have to keep looking within defense circles for benefits from the commercial world, and that's true. Let me also remind you that much innovation today is still coming out of the defense sector. Now we're getting to the point where it's minutes. And so certainly this kind of fusing is very interesting and important in the defense world. Last point, it's not just the technologies, but it's the linkages between the technologies and the people. And here, let me give a shout out to General Stanley McChrystal and to many of the people, especially downrange in the war theaters of the last decade, who have figured out ways to essentially flatten our corporate hierarchies and benefit not just from new technology, but from a tighter form of teamwork. And I think here, the defense sector broadly defined, not just industry, but also some of our operators in the field in uniform, have taught a lot that can probably be of benefit to corporate America and to the civilian economy as well.